Well, I think it's a little bit more, nuanced than that, because we've actually been arguing that the dollar could weaken versus some other currencies, certain ones in Asia, and also select G10 currencies like the Australian dollar. But really, I think our bugbear is this idea about dollar weakness versus the euro. It's certainly gone a lot further than what we were expecting, but to go from, to argue that the euro should be getting much stronger from current levels, we're not in that camp. We think, if anything, the tide is going to go the other way and euro dollar could actually come back down again. In part because people are beginning to realize that, where do you go from here for the outlook for the euro or the Eurozone economy? It's beginning to look a little shaky. And personally, I don't like the positioning either. So if I wrap these arguments into place, I'm actually thinking that euro dollar can head back lower. Thank you.
Okay, and so what would that mean for Asian currencies? Because that's where we haven't seen much participation as far as the dollar's fall is concerned.
That's a great question, because we have seen this divergence playing out in the currency market, especially over the last 1 to 2 months. I mean, currencies that are very associated with euro strength, mainly those in Europe, obviously, or Central Europe, they have done very well. Asian currencies have followed to a certain extent, but not as much. Why is that? It's probably a function of a couple of issues. One comes down to some hesitation with regards to US-China, trade tensions or tensions in general. And another factor may be associated with the market thinking about Asian central bank, their FX policy. Do they really want their currencies to be strengthening so much? So yes, Asian currencies have done a little bit better, but they're not matching the moves that we've seen, for instance, in Europe.
Well, we've had some arguments on the show this week, Paul, that there hasn't been enough focus at the moment on the US dollar Japanese yen pairing, and that once again that should be a key focus heading towards the end of this year. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I mean, I mentioned before about, generally speaking, we're constructive on Asian currencies, but including the Japanese yen, I would put that in the same bucket. I believe that there is some room for some gradual appreciation of the Japanese yen versus the dollar, only to about 105. It's not a very big move from current levels. But I think with these surplus currencies in this region, they're going to be under some pressure to strengthen, especially when you have the Fed having interest rates so close to zero and doing the type of balance sheet expansion that it's suggesting.